Imagine waking up as a powerful tribal chief in 15th century West Africa. You're respected, you're wealthy, you have 6 wives, and life is good. Then one afternoon, someone runs into your compound screaming about floating wood and ghosts. By evening, half your uncles are dead, and you're questioning everything you thought you knew about the universe. This is the story of the absolute chaos that went down when the Portuguese first showed up on African shores. And trust me, it was way weirder than you think. Let's go back to that fateful day. You wake up to the sound of roosters crowing and the smell of breakfast being prepared. The morning sun filters through your window. And yes, you have the biggest house in the entire village, positioned at the highest point so everyone knows exactly who's in charge. Your 6th wife, Amara, is already awake, adjusting her wrapper and preparing to leave your quarters. She's your newest wife, married just 3 months ago, and honestly, she's still trying to impress you. She brings you water in a calabash to wash your face, and you can hear your other wives already starting their morning routines in their respective quarters. Your compound is basically a whole neighborhood. You've got separate houses for each wife, a central meeting area, storage huts for yams and palm wine, and a sacred area where you communicate with the ancestors. Being chief isn't just a title, it's a whole lifestyle. You step outside and immediately people start bowing. Your advisors are already waiting for you because apparently, being chief means you don't get a single moment of peace. There's a land dispute between 2 families that needs settling. Someone's goat ate someone else's cassava, and the village elders want to discuss the upcoming harvest festival. You sit down on your carved wooden stool, the symbol of your authority, and begin the day's work. This is your routine. This is your life. You're thinking about which wife will cook your favorite meal tonight, whether you need to discipline your eldest son for chasing the blacksmith's daughter, and if you should finally take that 7th wife everyone keeps suggesting. Life is predictable. Life is good. You have no idea that in a few hours, your entire understanding of reality is about to get absolutely demolished. It's mid-afternoon now. You're in the middle of a serious meeting with your council of elders. You're discussing trade relations with the neighboring village, marriage alliances, and whether to increase the tribute required from the farming families this season. Then you hear it. Shouting, running, panic. One of the young warriors, Kojo, your sister's son, bursts into your meeting space. He's out of breath, covered in sand, eyes wild with terror. Your first thought is, this boy better have a really good reason for interrupting me, or he's getting the beating of his life. But then he speaks. Uncle, Chief, there is wood floating on the water. Giant wood, moving wood, and there are ghosts on it. You stare at him. The elders stare at him. Everyone is thinking the same thing. Has this boy been drinking palm wine in the afternoon? What are you talking about? You demand. Floating wood? Ghosts? Speak sense. But Kojo is trembling. I swear on the ancestors. Giant trees, bigger than any canoe, floating toward the beach. And on them, people. But not people. They have skin like. He struggles to find the words. Like fish bellies. Like they've been underwater. White like chalk. White like death. Now you're interested and concerned. In your culture, white is the color of the spirits, the color of the ancestors, the color of death itself. No living human is white. That's just not how people work. You stand up. Take me there. Now, the elders follow you as you make your way down to the beach. Your mind is racing. Could this be the ancestors returning? Some kind of omen? A curse? You've heard stories from distant lands about strange things, but nothing prepared you for this. As you approach the beach, you see a crowd has already gathered. People are pointing, shouting, some are praying. And then you see it. Floating on the water is something that shouldn't exist. It's like someone took entire trees, hollowed them out, and made them stand upright with massive cloths hanging from them. The cloths are catching the wind, and that's apparently how this thing moves. Your canoes suddenly seem ridiculously primitive, and on the floating wood figures, moving around, doing things. They came from below, someone whispers. They must live under the sea. You squint at the ship. The figures are definitely not normal. Their skin is pale, unnaturally pale. They're wearing strange wrapped cloths all over their bodies despite the heat. Some have hair on their faces, which is deeply unsettling. In your culture, only old men who can't groom properly have facial hair. Then something happens that cements the ghost theory in everyone's minds. The pale beings start bringing out objects. But here's the thing, they're bringing them from below the wooden structure. They disappear into the belly of the floating wood and emerge with metal tools, colorful cloth, shiny beads, and objects you've never seen before. Your people start murmuring. They're bringing things from under the sea. They live in the underwater realm. They're spirits. They're the ancestors. And honestly, it makes perfect sense to you. They're white-like spirits. They came from the water. They're bringing treasures from below the floating wood, which obviously means from under the sea. They're clearly not human. Humans are brown. Humans don't live in water. This is basic logic. Then the ghosts do something that makes your blood run cold. They lower a smaller piece of wood into the water, and several of them climb into it. They're rowing toward your beach. The crowd panics. Some people run. Others fall to their knees, praying to the ancestors. You stand firm because you're the chief and you can't show fear, but internally, you're absolutely terrified. The ghosts land on your beach. Up close, they're even more bizarre. Their skin is reddish from the sun in places. Their eyes are strange colors, blue, green, colors eyes shouldn't be. They smell different. They move differently. And then they speak. Bom dia. Nos vimos en paz. Procuramos comercio y. It's noise. Absolute gibberish. Their mouths move, sounds come out, but it's not language. It's like listening to birds trying to communicate. You speak back in your language, clearly and slowly, thinking maybe they're just confused. They stare at you with the same confused expression you're giving them. Nobody can understand anyone. The ghosts are making bird noises. You're speaking proper human language. It's a disaster. For a while, it's awkward but not violent. The ghosts point at things and make noises. They seem interested in your gold jewelry, your ivory bangles. They offer you strange objects, metal things, colorful beads, cloth woven in patterns you've never seen. Some of your people are curious. Some are terrified. You're trying to maintain order while also trying to figure out if you should be bowing to these spirits or chasing them away. Then everything goes wrong. One of your warriors, probably thinking he's defending the village from evil spirits, throws a spear at one of the ghosts. Maybe he's trying to test if they can be hurt. Maybe he's just scared and acting on instinct. Big mistake. Huge mistake. The ghosts pull out metal sticks. They point them at your people. There's a sound like thunder. Boom. Smoke pours out of the sticks. And your Uncle Kwame, who was standing 30 paces away, suddenly has a hole in his chest and falls down dead. The metal sticks make thunder and people fall down dead. No spear throwing. No physical contact. Just point the stick, make thunder, and people die. Several more of your warriors and villagers fall before everyone realizes. Run. It's absolute chaos. People are screaming, children are crying, warriors are trying to fight back with spears and arrows, but these things are useless against thunderstick ghosts. You see your Uncle Ebo, your favorite uncle who taught you how to hunt, get hit by one of those metal death balls and collapse. You're running back to the village with everyone else, your mind completely shattered. Nothing makes sense anymore. Ghosts from the sea have arrived on floating wood with death sticks that make thunder, and they've killed your family members with metal balls that move faster than arrows. By the time you get back to your compound, your sixth wife is crying, your other wives are gathering the children, your advisors are shouting different advice all at once. Some say offer the ghosts tribute. Others say prepare for war. One elder suggests you've angered the ancestors and need to make sacrifices. You sit down on your carved stool, and for the first time in your life as chief, you have absolutely no idea what to do. And that's part one of the insane story of first contact from the perspective of an African chief. The Portuguese thought they were discovering new lands and new people. The Africans thought they were being visited by sea ghosts with magic weapons. Both sides were confused, but only one side had guns. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's wildest cultural misunderstandings, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that don't get told in regular history class. What would you have done if you woke up as a tribal chief and encountered Europeans for the first time? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.